Okay, what we're going to do, and what I have done, is I've pretty much set up all of the servos, got them all zeroed out with my JR X9303. What I did was I didn't have a receiver battery, so I hooked up the throttle for my ESC, which has a BEC in it, so it'll power the receiver and the servos. I connected up the tail rotor servo directly to the receiver so I could get a good center on it. So I've already bound the receiver to the radio. I'm using the Spectrum AR6100 receiver. So we'll turn the radio on, we'll connect some power, and at half stick on the throttle, you want all of your servos to be at 90 degrees. So what I did was these are all set at 90 degrees, all three of them, and the tail rotor is already set at 90 degrees. Now in your radio, you may have to reverse them, but with the JR radio, the nice thing is when you're setting up the model, you can select your swash type, and I selected this as the 120 degree CCPM setup. Now, your left side servo will go to channel 6. The right side will go to channel 2, and your rear one will go to channel 3. So once that's all set up, you plug them in, you turn it on, make sure your servo horns are not connected when you turn it on, because your servos might not be centered correctly. Put your stick at half throttle and then connect them all. If they're off just a hair, you can adjust them with some sub trim. Now, as you can see, go to full throttle and the swash plate raises up, which increases the pitch. Go down, reduces, gives you your negative pitch. Left stick, right stick, forward and aft. Now what you want to do mechanically is ensure that the base of the swash plate is level with the base of the upper bearing block. You want everything nice and level. All of these other controls, all of these arms should be exactly at 90 degrees. Everything should be nice and straight and at 90 degrees. Right now we should be directly at 0 pitch. So if I put the blades on and check it, we want to make sure at half stick we're going to be 0 degrees pitch. If you need to adjust that, you can adjust it here at your top links after you get your swash plate nice and level. Then what we're going to do is hook up our gyro, and then we'll connect the tail rotor into the gyro and the gyro connections up front. Now I'm going to be using remote gain on this, which is going to use the travel adjustment for the gear switch. On your tail rotor, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the tail rotor. When it was connected, if I gave left stick, the tail rotor slider should come out all the way to the hub. If I give it right stick, it should be just the opposite, and it should go all the way to the inside. You can adjust your limits on the gyro. So you're not binding anywhere. So what we're going to do is get that set up. I'm going to put the battery tray in, I'm going to put the blades on, and then we'll talk a little bit about the blade pitch. Okay, we're going to continue on. What I did was I went ahead and I got all my wiring tucked in, wrapped up, wire tied, run down the side. Everything nice and neat, tucked up out of the way. It's not rubbing anywhere. Everything's connected. I put the battery tray in, and I used double-sided Velcro on both the mount and the battery. Same with the receiver. And I also put a strap on here to hold it nice and tight when I'm flying. We're going to install the fly bar. Now what they've done is they've run screws in here and then locked the set screws to keep the fly bar cage together. So what we're going to do is remove the screw on one side to start with. And that would actually be a tail rotor blade bolt, so you have extra ones. And then we're going to slide the fly bar through till it hits the other side. Loosen the other set screw up. Push it through. Take that other screw that was holding it out and slide the fly bar in. Now what you want to do is have an even measurement on both sides of the fly bar cage. So I use a caliper to do this, and this is a digital one. So I'll just get a base measurement. I'll snug this up. It looks pretty even right now. And what I'll do is I'll just snug that up just so it doesn't move around. And I will get a measurement right from the cage to the very end of the bar. And then I'll check the other side. And we're off quite a bit. So I need to loosen it up and pretty much split that difference. Move it just a little bit in. Tighten it again. And check my measurement yet one more time. And you want this thing to be pretty even on both sides. And we are just a hair off. So I'm just going to move it out just one little bit. Tighten it up. Recheck our measurement.